What's up guys, today I'll be explaining the Oryx fight, or the final boss in the Taken King raid. Unlike the sister fight where there's a random runner, you can choose the runner this time, which in my opinion makes this fight actually a bit easier. The first thing you should do before you even start the fight, is you see the map in the background designating the area, is first assign your team's designated runner, then assign each person to one of the 4 pillars. I know only 3 are going to be used, but this way there's no confusion when Oryx rotates or chooses another platform, because each person knows which one they're responsible for. You can assign the platforms a number. You can assign them based on their location, like back left, back right. We tend to choose the numbers though. Assign them in numbers wise, in say a counterclockwise 1 to 4 designation, because that's the way you'll be running it. And this means you basically have, for your 6-man fire team, you'll have 1 guy running the platforms, 2 guys on add duty, which with the platform that has the relic over it, that 1 guy will shift to add duty, and 3 responsible for platforms. Make sure everyone thoroughly understands what counterclockwise means in the order to jump on the platforms, or this will be a nightmare to get right. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to number them. You could do whatever strategy works for you as long as you're on the same page. The fight begins similar to the Daughter's fight. Oryx will rotate to a platform and slam his fist. This will be the platform that starts the runner's platforming. Have a teammate follow your runner. We'll have your runner jump up first, activate the platform, and then have a teammate follow him and stay on that platform. You'll then have 2 more teammates jump onto the platforms in a counterclockwise format. So in this case, as you see in the background, you'll have Roxo jump on after our runner goes and gets the platforms. He calls out that he's on. I will jump on my platform. Then Nappa will jump on his. We stay on these platforms until our runner gets the relic. When our guy gets the relic, he'll tell us when and we can jump off. As he's going to get the relic, ogres will spawn and must be killed quickly. They will leave behind a blight or a black orb where they are killed, and these are the sources of damages that you have to use to kill Oryx, because shooting them doesn't do much, if at all. You can use a sniper rifle, a super, a rocket launcher, or anything to really help your teammates as much as possible. You want to get rid of these 4 as fast as you can. Your ad crews should be the ones helping you out here. The ogres tend to spawn in the order in which the platforms were activated, but a 4th will spawn even if all 4 platforms aren't used. When the runner grabs a relic, he'll call out that he has it. He will go into the middle and slam a knight that gets dropped off by a hive ship to steal his aura of invincibility. Make sure your runner is very careful, because the ship could sometimes kill you. You will all gather in this middle aura around your aura teammate, and you'll take out some ads. You are invincible when you're in this aura, so take advantage of it. Kill the knight that he took the aura away from, otherwise he will steal the blights that you need to damage Oryx. Kill him as fast as you can. Oryx will then slam his fist on the original platform that the relic started on and open his chest. All 6 of you should be trying to damage him as much as you can using high impact damage weapons, or even specials like a Hunter's Celestial Nighthawk to get him to flinch. If you fail to get him to flinch, you die. And trust me, you'll probably want to be at least 290 to 295 light and have high impact weapons to reliably make him flinch. If you do manage to get him to flinch, have someone call out a 3-second timer right after he flinches, and at this point all 4 of you will head to the platforms, or all 4 of you that were responsible for platforms will run over and stand in the blight at the end of that 3-second countdown until it detonates. When it does, you'll see a message in the bottom left side of your screen saying this guy detonated a blight or detonated an orb. When you do this, immediately right after it detonates, run back to your teammate with the aura so you can stay invincible. You have to detonate them around the same time, or the players that have to run the furthest or arrive the latest will die. You have to run back to the aura. A lot of teams I've seen that I've been on, especially, you'll have 2 guys that run out to the aura or run out to the blights to early activate them, and as the final 2 have to go the furthest to detonate their blights, it ends up getting them killed because they can't get back to the aura in time. So make sure that 3-second timer, everyone gets to the blights, and then at the timer's ending, everyone jumps into the blight and makes their way back to the aura at the same time. That's key. The 1 guy that was exclusively on ad control and the runner should continue to shoot Oryx this whole time. The blights are the ways to damage Oryx. You need 16 total to kill him, so 4 per run. You're going to need 4 total runs. Oryx will fall off the cliff if you've done this right, and he will appear at the starting spot again. You will then have explosions launch at you. So return to your original platforms and just run circles around them for about 20 seconds. You have to be running too, you can't walk. If you slow down, you die. If you stop, you'll probably die. Well, you're guaranteed to die. Our runner usually dies, and we revive him right after this running phase so that he doesn't have to worry about overlapping or running into anyone else, because when you're doing this, if you run into your teammates, there's a very good chance you're going to end up getting the other guy killed. So after this, you'll have to repeat this exact same strategy again, which, because it's 2 runs with 4 blights per, 8 total blights, you should have Oryx's health down to half or just under half, depending on how many shots your 1 DPS guy and 1 relic holder were outputting the entire time that you guys were detonating the 8 orbs. When your health is at half, or when his health is at half or below half, you still have to repeat the exact same relic acquisition and blight exploding method, but it's different this time. Instead of going and running around, like trying to avoid all of the explosions, what'll happen is you'll have to head up to the very front to where Oryx spawns. You will see a large black blight appear basically over, well, exactly where he spawns. Don't touch it or you die. Instead, Taken will spawn to the left and to the right of this blight, and what'll happen is you gotta take these guys out as much as you can. One by one, Oryx will send you into an area our team likes to call the Thunderdome to kill a shade of Oryx, which is basically exactly the same as the final story boss Oryx, except that you can damage him before he enters the arena this time. So the teams, like one by one, if you're in the Thunderdome, shoot at the shade of Oryx, try and do as much damage as you can. If you're not, take out the Taken ads that spawn next to the blight. They do make their way toward the blight, and if they enter the blight, they will go into the Thunderdome with you and will damage you, and your health does not come back in the Thunderdome. So manage the ads and make sure you try not to get hit by the shade. One thing of note too, the later you're sent into the Thunderdome, the higher the chance that you'll be spawned as he's entering the arena and swinging his sword at you. So get in the habit of the second you enter the arena, jump high and try and just jump or try to avoid getting hit by him. Otherwise, there's a good chance you could end up getting hit and dying. It's sort of shit, but you gotta account for that. Also, he can be hard to see when you're in there, so make sure if you see him rotate, call out the degrees of rotation that he actually does when he rotates. So say 90 degrees for a quarter turn, or 180 when he flips from going in front to behind you, just so that your teammates are on the same page. Or if you're not sure where he is at all and your teammate does, just see where his gunfire is, turn and start shooting in the same spot. If you manage to kill this shade, immediately return back to your original stations and you're going to repeat the relic running strategy one more time. You'll have to repeat the Thunderdome to kill the shade one more time as well to bring your total blight explosion count to 16, which is the needed amount to take him out. After you're done repeating this strategy one more time, Oryx will go to the beginning area where the blight spawned and where he spawned at the beginning of the attack to give a sort of last stand attack. He'll open his chest to try and kill you, and you have to give every little bit of DPS you have to cause him to flinch one more time. If you succeed, you'll have killed him. Congratulations, the chest spawns, grab your loot, you had a blast. If not, you'll have to repeat the entire strategy all over again. So give it everything you got. Save up those sniper rifles. If you're doing it as a repeat run, you probably won't really need this strategy, but Touch of Malice makes it so easy. Some tips just to wrap up the video as a one last thing. High impact sniper rifles, if you manage to grab the Black Spindle or even the Raid sniper rifle, really help. Celestial Nighthawk for hunters really helps to make them flinch. And Hammer of Soul from the Titans absolutely crush ogres and the ads that spawn around your aura. Yeah, so overall this raid isn't very hard, to be perfectly honest with you, but timing and communication are significantly more important than any previous raid, and that's the difficulty part. Weak link players have a much harder time getting carried in this raid, so to speak. So if you're not of appropriate light, make sure you run some more strikes to get your light up. And make sure you speak up if you're playing with new players if you don't have experience or don't completely understand your role, because you dying could end up causing a wipe and, well, you'll probably get yelled at for it. So that's the keys to it, really. It's communication. This one, as much as it is a gear and weapons check, you can get by on lesser gears. Well, because especially the first time you run it, you're obviously not going to have raid gear specialized to really help you out. But try to get as high up to that 295 threshold as you can, because at about 295, you're still losing about 15% damage per hit per shot. And if you're at about 290 or 10% less, because the Oryx fight on normal is about 300 light, you're losing about 30% of your damage. So bear that in mind before you actually go into the fight, because you might end up holding back your team and, well, holding back yourself. So communication's key. Make sure everyone knows their role and knows it well. If you're with a regular raid crew, my advice would probably be to try and switch up the roles every once in a while, so that way if you're missing your one regular for the week or two regulars for the week and you still want to run the raid, that way at least you have some experience in a role you've never tried before, and it just makes you a better player. It exposes you to new things that you can try and improve and get better at. But that's it. That's the basic strategies. It's repeating 4 times the exact same strategy. Use your grenades and everything on ogres as you see here in the background too. It's not too bad. Communicate. It'll probably take you a few runs, but it's not too bad. See you later.
Do I have to worry about an Oryx attacking me?
I don't think so. Just stay on the platform.
I've never been the one who started it off.
No, he doesn't go near you.
Okay.
Copy, Riley.
Okay, let's finish this dog.
I like when I steal the thing from him and his response is to stand there and punch me. Because I can just gun him down while he's like...
Hey, he's opening his chest soon. He's opening it.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, detonate.
I might not make it back.
It's okay, you got the detonation.
Nope.
Oh, I was there.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Max was corpse.
You dead?
Okay, so 4 of us are going to have to kill him in last stand.
Yep.
All 4 of us, we got to give whatever we got.
I think you can do it.
We got him. That was actually easier than I thought it was going to be.
That was extremely easy.
I was expecting to be in some trouble.
Was that our first run?
Oh.
Yep.
Whoa, Starfire protocol.